father. My father has 4 flags planted at the side of his house. Secret colors, he would not name them. He said he'd been to China. You see Buddha sit down on a throne. He said he was in a group in a circle looking up at Buddha. He said Buddha take a chilling pipe from his waistband and he lit it and he sucked it. And then the pipe had to pass around to everyone in the circle now. Buddha pause. And Albert had to pass between guards and both sides had swords. And he kneeled down. He said Buddha take a bead necklace from around his neck. And he put it around his neck and he said, I get you a gift. Don't get no one, no one, no one, no one. My father pours cold coffee in the calabash roots. And he leads uphill to bathe in cold water. But he falls asleep face down in his bachelor's bed. Still in his string vest and his drawers. Painting a bottle of duty-free rum. And the scene. The scene. The sea blows up from the horizon. Blow. Merci beaucoup. On djembe and conga, Mr. Paul Zimmerman, Mr. Paul Zimmerman, the general, the general, the general. A man they call Mr. Stone. We call him Mr. Stone because when he puts it on you, it stays on you. Mr. Andrew John on bass. Andrew John on bass. On the iron, the iron, the iron, the iron, the iron. The iron, the iron, the iron, the iron, the iron. On the irons and the snare, Mr. Paul Brett. Paul Brett. And on miscellaneous percussion and shells and all sorts of voodoo stuff there, Mr. Craig Tamlin. Craig Tamlin on percussion. And on guitar, the Rastaman, Mr. Christian Akuchi. Christian Akuchi.
On vocal, bringing you the voodoo funk technology. Make some noise. It's Anthony Joseph. Yeah.
The day my father came back from the sea, he was broke, but he was handsome. And I saw him walking across the savannah, you know, and I knew at once it was him. I saw his soulful stride, the grace of his hat. The serifs of his name were fluttering, fluttering in my mouth. Well, in his bachelor's room in El Socorro that year, he played his 8 tracks through a sawed-off speaker box. The coil would rattle and the cone would hop. But all the women from the coconut groves still came to hear his traveler's tales. You see, in those days, my daddy wore brown suede and them 8-eye high desert boots, you know. Gabardine bells with the 2-inch folds. He was like a myth, the legend of him. Once I touched the nape of his boots to see if my father was real, you know. Beyond the blind edges of photographs and the songs we sang to sing him back. From the sweep and sea agonies of his distance, landslide scars, he sent no letters. Jackie Saber, St. Cross Lumber, Rufy said so, St. Galvanized. What he say, Stitch and Caramba. You know, he kind of grew ambitious with wood in his middle ages. Yeah. And that night that I spent there, with the cicadas in that clear village sky, I mean, even though each room was still unfinished and each sadness was hidden, I would have stayed right there with my father if he had asked. He came back smelling of the sea. Paris, Segal, how you all doing? Ça va? Yeah. Thank you for coming out to see us. We're very privileged and happy to be here today. It's a very special occasion for us. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the band for being here. We're going to try to give you some hard, heavy, Lord knows what you can call it. But we call it some kind of voodoo funk stuff, you know? All sorts of mixtures of spiritual Baptist rhythms and jazz and all sorts of stuff. So, cool, thank you. So, feel at home, you know, if you want to dance, man, anybody, dance in the aisles. I mean, I don't know about the security, I don't know, actually. Check first. But if you want to dance, you know, whatever, because it's kind of hard to sit down to this kind of music. All right, this next thing is called Alvin. I wrote this for a cousin of mine in Trinidad, who I'm very fond of, who lives in the hills. This is called Blues for Cousin Alvin. is a fowl, you know. And sheep as white as country cotton. Baby geese in wire pens on one side of the road. You see, my humble cycle, it was parked on one side. And on the other side, a forest grew of giant hot plum trees and banana fields, yeah. All between the bungalows, down in the bungalows, down in the bungalows. Hillside of Malik Village. And I'm just leaning, and you see me, I'm just leaning on a bed of post lawn. I was spitting banana seeds. Then I see my cousin Alvin come. I see him come dancing down from the top of the hill. To say, you know what, Tony boy, somebody just leave your bike. I said, what? So I grabbed the neighbor tree canal cutlass and I started to go down. I was going behind them in their mud ass. But then I've been saying, you know what, Tony boy, you better just lower that blade, yeah? Cause you see down there, they don't play down in the bungalow. Down in the bungalow. Lord have mercy. Merci, merci beaucoup. Thank you. You having a good time? You sure? Having a good time, a great time? Okay. Okay. This thing is called cutlass, and in Trinidad, we use it for various functions. You know, cutlass, machete, I don't know. We use them in Trinidad for a lot of stuff, like, you know, religious stuff, and then you can settle disputes, arguments, you know. So this is like an ode to the cutlass. It's called cutlass. cutlass that cut them, the cutlass that wound, the cutlass that turned them down. The cutlass that cut them, the cutlass that wound, the cutlass that turned them down. Those sparks grew from stars falling, scraping the road on Jubilee morning. Or cut can pass a lash against a man's bedroom. Cut from running sideways fastest, from fastest blade work. It make him run out of his shadow. It make him run out of his skin. It make him run out with a tumbling blow that he cut sharp across his throat till it dribbled. Cut last by the flesh soul, and it cut his Achilles. You know, it was that same cutlass that slit the pig throat like a razor, and the body shook. Hang it up and let it drip its oil and ambergris umber. Let oil run all down this holy tributary where the cornstalk keeps snakes and wildflowers. All along the banks of the Valencia River, where an old woman is weeping prayers in glossolalia and inscribing a viva for leg back. An old man is cutting sheaves of sage, skyways on Sundays. And the nut burn bleed, and it humber. God last when it flashed so, and it cut his Achilles. Jump. Shaking the bones on the steel, mama. And I saw the blade rise up. I saw it rise up. And it hits you with the hip. Make the cutlass, oh make the cutlass last, oh Lord. I remember my grandfather had a blade, boy. If you see that man blade was long so. A man get a blade from his grandfather. And when you see that blade come out, there was trouble, you know. many colors, how many colors. Oh! Let me ask you something. Are you feeling the feeling? Are you feeling the feeling? Clap with me. Are you feeling the feeling? 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 Would you like to rock it with me, baby? Would you like to jam it with me, honey? Mercy. This one's called Dream on Kobo Mountain. Come. My home is in the mountain top. It's just a tree-sided house with the front wide open up to the blackbirds and the kiskadees. And I'm sitting on Coco Mountain now, and I'm watching them all fly by. Come on, dream on Cobo, dream on Cobo, dream on Cobo Mountain, dream on Cobo, dream on Cobo, dream on Cobo Mountain. My icebox. My icebox sits in a corner with a slice of shark in a bowl, half a lime. Let me come November. And a Bible stretched between Isaiah and the Song of Solomon. And I'm sitting on Coco Mountain now. Thank you. Okay. So, we're in Tikal. We just came back from a kind of a little, well, 2-gig tour. Well, you can't really call it a tour. It's 2 gigs in Cape Town, which was, phenomenal. And this, coming here after Cape Town is like, wow, man. It's not too bad, is it? Yeah? Playing at the Pigalle, people coming out to see you. Thank you. Merci. All right. This track is called Rubber Man, and it's something that I wrote when there was like a lot of violence going on in Trinidad, a lot of murders. I mean, even now it's really bad. Like 400 and something murders, in a year. I mean, in the first half of the year is madness. So it's called Rubber Man. Rubber Man, don't get me. Don't blow me downtown, down Shanty Town, Ravine, where there be silverfish and wabine. On the riverbank, Nile riverbank. 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 Rubber man, don't get me. Rubber man, don't get me. Don't blow me downtown, down Shanty Town, Ravine. Now where they beat silverfish and wabine. On the riverbank, now riverbank. On the riverbank, now riverbank. We come like ripe guava. When it's season, full and ripe, and it dropped like a 12-gauge shot that shattered the wings of our mountain gods. And make the young blood seep upon the sea and float home, yeah. And make the young blood seep upon the sea and float home, yeah. And make him real, so real that the paddle broke and he tumbled down, different crocus back. You better just hide the magic from me. Hide the magic from me. Come, 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 come. Let me lime like we used to. Don't grab my neck with fisherman's swine. Don't see myself in a ransom. Don't break my roots with rumors and rules. Come on now. Hide the magic for me. Come, 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 come. Woo. Let's love like we used to. Let's love. 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 Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spasm Band. Give them some love. This is the last thing we're going to do tonight. We got 10 minutes, so this is the last thing, unfortunately, we're going to have to do, which is cool. It's actually a single out at the moment, single on Heavenly Sweetness. It's called Vero. You might have heard it on Radio Nova. Vero, the she-devil. In Trini, we have the legend of La Diablesse, which is a woman that if you're a man and you're coming home late at night, you might encounter her in a dark lane, and she will entice you to come with her. But when you look closer, you can see that she's got a human foot and a foot of a cow. So, and that'll be the end of you. So this is Vero. A story about a woman called Vero. Vero was what you would call a La Diablesse, yeah? She's the kind of woman, man, if you meet her in the middle of the night, she's gonna look real beautiful, you know. But when you look, so you see she got one cow foot and a human foot, you know. Come on, bring it on. Had a man called Savage, who was a bus mechanic. But he had to live to what? Ever since a Vero took him with a pickaxe blade, yeah. So he had to go to Bago. He had to go and humble himself a little bit, you know, chill out, lie up there, relax. Humble yourself. And one day Vero saw my brother. She saw him unfold his secrets on the riverbank, and her blood take him one time. A song of fishes in the river so haunted, and she became determined to hold him between the cross-cut sword of her eyes. My brother came back from Kandahar. The first thing he did was look for Vero. Couldn't see Vero nowhere, no how. Vero in the rooftop, no she in the gully. Vero in the mango, no she in the swimming bush. I bury him down to the ground. And instead my brother really began to feel that burn. To bend up and twist up. I said, I thank the people that make up the dying bed. Percussion, one time, come on. Okay, we were gonna go, but I just heard we got time to do one more for you. You want one more? Yeah? Okay, cool. We're gonna give you one more. His voice had the deep burr of a man who kept fish hooks in his beard. So I put on my white Muslim jumpsuit. I slid my sleeves and levers tight. I pulled my hair shut with Syrian beeswax and en route subterranean to Toucan Bay by an antimatic Congo pump man. I met Kane, and he was waiting with the contraband, yeah. He had 8 grams of prime, 7-letter X. And while Kane stroked a reefer the size of Mozambique rolled in a poppadom, man, I held my head open for the suck. And I become so oiled and eager for Joe Sam's return to Houdini's that night that I spent there. Down at a jetty where fish gun from fume furiously. And I found copious peoples was already rubbing belly to back and hacking heels. Knee deep in ditch digger nigga sweat. Man, bring it down a little bit. You see, the very groove possess more swing than bachelor galvanizing hurricane, more sting than jab jab whip, and more soul than African trumpet bone. It was that pure emotive speed that once improvised how melodic funk to Buddy Bolden's punk jazz on the banks of Lake Pontchartrain. Double bass, still reverberating through space-time like long-lost astronauts and orbiting saxophones. And it was that same rhythm that shook spiritual Baptist shacks with rhythm. Until the Sankey hymns they sung became cryptic mantras that spin like secrets, that spin like secrets, that spin like secrets, that spin like secrets through water. Oh! Bring it back for them, spasm. Bring it back for them. Bring it up for them. Bring it up. We have the Stanton Band. Anthony Joseph. Colin Webster. Andrew John. Paul Brett. Paul Zimmerman. Ray Tamlin. Christian Akuchi on guitar. My name is Anthony Joseph. And you've been shook by the Spasm Band. Come on. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for giving us one of the most wonderful experiences we've had for a while. Thank you. Let's do it old school style, you know. Thank you. I hope you had a good time and, you know, you're glad you came out tonight. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.